My name's Addison Smith. I'm a model here with M&I. I have been painting since I was like, oh gosh, out the womb. I sing, I try and attempt to dance. Doesn't go great, but I do have a theater background, so I do a lot of musical theater. I've been taking up some acting courses. That's been interesting. I also kind of dabble in social media with makeup. I do like makeup tutorials on TikTok and Instagram. I got drawn to modeling. I was doing senior photos and a photographer in the local area was like, hey, I think that you potentially might have something. I ended up doing kind of like a test shoot and it went really well. Ultimately, he kind of recommended me to go towards M&I. And then I met Gigi and it kind of all went from there. A month after signing, I ended up getting my first contract in Chicago, not for modeling, but for social media. About 6 months after that, I signed to New York. And then 2 weeks after signing to New York, I signed my first international contract in Mexico. In no way, shape, or form did I ever think that it would go that fast. It took me and my parents completely by storm. I was already enrolled in college, I had gone to orientation, and then I had to sit my parents down and tell them, actually no, I'm gonna go off to a foreign country and start modeling. I've learned that I'm a lot more independent than I ever thought. Being like a young girl growing up in a small town, you think that Kansas is it, and it's not. There is a huge world and Kansas is a small speck on the map. When you start modeling, you gain confidence and a willingness to kind of take initiative of your life and push to do something bigger and strive for more. And so it made me realize that I could push for what I wanted and I didn't have to be stuck in doing something that I wasn't interested in. When I first learned that I had gotten the contract with Mexico, I flipped out. Gigi texted me on the 4th of July. It was, you know, America's Day. And then I looked down at my phone and she was like, how do you feel about going to Mexico? And I was like, I would love to go to Mexico. It definitely was a little bit of a struggle at first. When I first got to Mexico, even, you know, in the airport, I think it kind of all hits you and you're like, oh, I just left everything that I knew. I left all my family, all my friends. I am in a place where I don't speak the language, but you get by anyway. It works out. And I really became a lot more independent and a lot more confident in my decision-making skills. It was really exciting to leave and again see that there was just a world outside of Kansas and that there was a world that I could do something that I really loved and that I was really excited to get up and do every day. Especially since I was working like 3 to 4 times a week in Mexico, like I constantly felt busy and excited and ready for opportunities. You meet people that you feel like you have known for years when in actuality you've known them for like 2 weeks. You grow from others, like the other models helped me so much. I always was really hard on myself because I wasn't seen as editorial. But now I'm getting all these amazing opportunities and I feel way more confident in calling myself a model and pushing for what makes me feel good. There's no reason for me to do like a super high fashion shoot unless it's for fun because I know that I'm not walking for Vogue. It is fun to do like beauty campaign shoots because I know that's what fits me and fits my look. And so I recognized that and I tried to, you know, develop my book in a way that was helpful to me. So I think in the beginning, I didn't really know what came with modeling. Modeling is like a sport. You definitely have to train and you have to learn and you have to sacrifice. And so that was the key component that I had always missed. When you look at like girls in magazines or on TV, if you don't have any idea what the modeling industry is like, you think that they're just naturally that way and they naturally look like that and there was nothing involved, no direction, no anything. They just got lucky and landed in that spot. And in some ways luck goes along with it, but it takes a lot of hard work and energy. And so Models and Images really sat me down and was like, hey, this is what you need to know. This is what you need to practice. and then brought me into practice. And with that, I took the information that I had learned, applied it to my everyday life, and then that's when my development started. I think just the support in general. Gigi got a text from me about every day my first 2 weeks that I was in Mexico. It's really important to know that your mother agent is always there for you, and ultimately, if you're not doing well, they're not doing well. It is so important to communicate and to take what they're saying to heart and apply it to your everyday life when modeling, because you can't do it on your own. I mean, like, you could try, but it's gonna be really hard. I'd rather have Gigi in my pocket personally. And so now it's really about being patient for the future and understanding that just because things move so quickly in the beginning, that's not always the case. And I shouldn't feel ashamed or like discouraged if I don't get a contract every 2 months, because that's weird. And so now I'm really focusing on building healthy habits and understanding the industry more and the markets, and building all of that information so that later, if I do get another contract or when I get another contract, I can use that information and apply it to that next market. So I think what contributed to my growth the most was my personality. I always tried to be very confident in the room that I was in because I was chosen to be there for a reason. I think it's really important to always ask questions and be personable. People do not want to get to know you if you do not want to get to know them. I always tried to talk to the other girls, even when it felt like impossible. There was once in Mexico where me and a girl communicated entirely through Google Translate for 3 hours. It is possible to create relationships with people in the industry. Everything, measurements, face, style, authenticity, like that, it all builds. And personality is a key component of that. And if you're not willing to put yourself out there and let people get to know you, they're not gonna want to be around you and want to work with you. Before, not that I was ever shy, but I wasn't popular in middle school or high school. I was a little theater kid. I did choir and I painted. And I think with modeling, not only did it surprise a lot of people around me, but it surprised me. And it surprised me that I could even want to work that hard for something and just kind of like go, go, go. It gave me confidence. It gave me the ability to kind of fight my own battles in a way. I think you have to be your own biggest advocate in this industry. And it definitely taught me how to ask questions and how to say no and how to set appropriate boundaries when working with clients. And that is like translated into my everyday life as well. If you're considering to try modeling, girl, why not? Give it a shot, do your thing. Especially if someone sees something in you and sees the potential to do something great, don't shy away from it. You have one life to live. And if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. So get started, get 18 contracts, go fly to 18 different countries, go meet 100 new people, and M&I and Gigi will both be there along the way to hold your hand. The worst that you can be told is no, and rejection is redirection.